Welcome to another edition of News Bites here on Daily World Television. My name is Kal Korff and I'm your host. Our top story on today's News Bites is a scandal that has erupted in the United States of America. The scandal comes straight from the White House. Earlier this morning in America, American President Donald Trump took to his Twitter account very early in the morning. Seems like he had problems sleeping or he's an early riser. Whatever. As Trump frequently does, he took to his Twitter account and went on a rage. Only instead of complaining about his usual issues such as fake news or the lamestream liberal media or CNN or the Democrats, this time he took several personal and direct shots aimed squarely at former American President Barack Obama, his predecessor. I'm going to read to you now the actual words from 3 different tweets that Trump sent. One of them said, "How low has President Obama gone to tap my phones during the very sacred election process? This is Nixon Watergate, bad or sick guy." Then in another tweet he said, "Terrible. Just found out that Obama had my wires tapped in Trump Tower just before the victory. Nothing found. This is McCarthyism." Then Trump tweeted again, "Is it legal for a sitting president to be wiretapping a race for president prior to an election? Turned down by court earlier, a new low." So the short version of this, folks, is that Trump is complaining that Obama wiretapped him during the campaign for president and presumably afterwards. He's also saying that such behavior is Nixon-like, Watergate-like, and a new low for Obama. And in Trump's earlier comments, he has already accused Obama of going low many times. According to this, it's a new low. Now the question remains, and it must be settled, is Donald Trump telling the truth? Why did Trump make such a serious allegation and offer no evidence? Is that evidence classified? Did he finally get a hold of it because he has a need to know, probably now, since he is the President of the United States? Trump should either put up or shut up, to use his own words. He should either release the evidence or apologize for lying to the world. Now, what was Barack Obama's reaction to this? Obama, predictably, denied it. In fact, in an official statement released by Obama's spokesman, not only did he deny it, he said that Obama has never authorized the investigation of an American citizen. Put another way, since Trump is an American citizen, what Trump is claiming is false. Unfortunately for Obama, and this is not the first time, he is now exposed for lying. Barack Obama has indeed authorized the direct surveillance of not only at least one American citizen, but millions of them. We must remember, folks, and you can easily prove this by doing a simple search on Google, that under Barack Obama, the intelligence agencies such as CIA, FBI, counterintelligence units, and law enforcement, and the National Security Agency, whose job is to eavesdrop on all forms of communications, have been given sweeping new powers. Under Obama, not only have their budgets vastly increased, but search warrants are no longer needed. In fact, the FISA court, which was more or less a crude check and balance to prevent abuses of conducting surveillance on Americans or suspected terrorists, they have gone by the wayside under Obama. And not only have the FISA courts been lied to, they are irrelevant now because you don't need a warrant, you just need a suspicion. The technology and the capabilities, technically wise, that Obama has given the NSA allow real-time monitoring of electronic communications on the internet. The moment you type a message on Facebook down to the individual character keystroke, the NSA can scoop it up and monitor it real time. The data often goes to a brand new facility that has its own power source in Utah that Obama made sure was constructed and funded. This data processing center then routes information after being filtered through a bunch of algorithms and occasionally human analysts. And then if anything deemed to be worthy of attention is found, it is then routed to an appropriate analyst for further scrubbing until action is taken one way or another. Now, this is all information that is publicly available. As a journalist, I've written on it myself, having been a longtime follower and chronicler of the NSA and what it does. And by the way, I support the mission of the NSA. What I do not support are abuses by government. So for Obama to lie and say through his spokesman that he has never authorized the surveillance of an American citizen, that is a new low, even for him, and he has lied before. Remember his promise to millions of people, where he said to Americans, if you love your health plan, you can keep it. No one will ever take it away from you. No how, no way. He said that over 30 times on 30 different occasions, and it was a lie. Millions of people lost their health care plan. So politicians do lie. Obama is no exception. It's just a question of how often and on what issue. And Donald Trump certainly lies. In fact, of all of the candidates who ran for the White House in 2016, Donald Trump broke the record for saying the greatest number of lies. So now Donald Trump has thrown a hissy fit, true or false, meaning his claim is either true or false. He has put it out there for the world to see. He has now had a series of meetings with his highest cabinet advisors, and they probably were discussing this issue instead of the weather. Now, what is Trump's next move going to be? Well, he's going to be under a lot of understandable, deserved pressure to release the evidence that he is telling the truth and that Obama once again has lied. If Trump never coughs up the evidence, then to be blunt about this issue, he should apologize to the American people and shut up and never say such a thing again like this. However, independent of what Trump does, the statement issued by Barack Obama through his spokesman is a lie. Under Obama, record numbers of whistleblowers and even journalists have been prosecuted. Everyone from the New York Times to Fox News has commented and complained about it, and you can easily search Obama's victims, and the pattern has been this. They begin prosecution, lawsuits, they string them out, then they drop them. This has been their pattern. One could argue that they were never serious for their intent to prosecute anyway, but then it begs another question: why did they even bother? Obama did inherit a few cases where one example was investigative journalist James Risen over a leak that had occurred under the Clinton and Bush administration regarding a bogus plan to give Iran fake nuclear bomb blueprints, which of course was not successful. The Iranians were not fooled. When Risen ran with that story and published the details, the US government decided to prosecute him. That happened under George Bush. Then, when Obama became president, he could have ordered that inquiry dropped, but he did not. In fact, he furthered it. And years later, not coincidentally, around the time as he was running for re-election, he dropped it. This was after years were wasted in court and countless tax dollars, as well as the personal finances of the affected victim, Risen in this case. Then there's the issue of Fox reporter James Rosen. Again, another witch hunt. So Obama has targeted not only individuals, Americans, he has also targeted all Americans and citizens around the world by authorizing Orwellian capabilities for the NSA to eavesdrop on everyone, to the point that even George Orwell would arguably be embarrassed and shamed.